Hi everyone. So this is a tutorial on the poem The Emigree. I've done all the other ones, so you've got them all, except I somehow deleted one. Can't remember which one it was. Oh, can't remember. I deleted it and I can't get it back. Anyway, I'm sure you'll survive. The Emigree by Rumens. So I'll read you the poem like I normally do, and I've got some tasks for you. So I've got 6 tasks for you to do, all right? And I'll write those down in the comments box as well so you can see them. All right, remember to make all your notes and keep them safe because you'll need them for your exam next year. All right, so the Emigree. There was once a country, I left it as a child, but my memory of it is sunlight clear, for it seems I never saw it in that November, which, I am told, comes to the mildest city. The worst news I receive of it cannot break my original view, the bright, filled paperweight. It may be at war, it may be sick with tyrants, but I am branded by an impression of sunlight. The white streets of that city, the graceful slopes, glow even clearer as time rolls its tanks and the frontiers rise between us, close like waves. That child's vocabulary I carried here like a hollow doll opens and spills a grammar. Soon I shall have every coloured molecule of it. It may by now be a lie, banned by the state, but I can't get it off my tongue. It tastes of sunlight. I have no passport. There's no way back at all, but my city comes to me in its own white plane. It lies down in front of me, docile as paper. I comb its hair and love its shining eyes. My city takes me dancing through the city of walls. They accuse me of absence, they circle me, they accuse me of being dark in their free city. My city hide behind me, they mutter death, and my shadow falls as evidence of sunlight. Okay, so The Emigree by Rumens. So this is a poem about a displaced person, someone who's probably been a refugee, who's had to move from their original city, their homeland, under some kind of some war or something. They talk about tanks and frontiers, so there's lots of war language in there. So I want you to think about The Emigree. Now the title is written in the female form, it's spelling, French spelling, and so we do get a sense that this is a woman, a girl, a child who's moved and then grown up in a different city. So your first task, there are lots of strong feelings about the place of where she came from. So I want you to think about the feelings of place and how does she describe it with a child's positivity. So it was a war zone when they left. So how does she describe it with such positivity? Because she's kind of reminiscing, and maybe she's idealistic or maybe she's realistic, I don't know. But how does she describe that sense of place of her home? Number 2, I want you to think about voice, about narrative voice. It's kind of like a storytelling this, and they sort of they're kind of recounting something that happened and how it's impacted on them now. So think about the sort of once upon a time beginning. It says there once was a country, so we kind of get a storytelling there. It's written in first person. So how does that narrative voice capture a person and a person's experience and a person's emotions and thoughts? Okay, there's ABBA in the background. Sorry, it's my husband. Number 3. Colour. I want you to have a look at all the colour in this poem and think about there's things like the sunlight, but there's also opposites because we get darkness as well and shadows. So I want you to track all the colours, think about them, and think about the symbolic representation. Number 4, have a look at the lexical field of war that runs through it and the imagery of war, and what sort of images that are given. They're quite simple ones, but they're deep and they're powerful, and they're maybe a child's version of what they remember. Okay, so have a look at the lexical field of war and the imagery of war and just have a deeper think about that. Number 5, I want you to think about the city that she talks about, my city, almost like as an extended metaphor for her identity. Now identity is really important in these later poems in the cluster. So I want you to think about how she uses that city. So she personifies it, she combs its hair, there's lots of things that are happening there, and how she's saying her city is her identity. And number 6, I want you to think about the image of the bright filled paperweight. Okay, so have a think about a paperweight, something sort of in glass, something solid, something never changing. It's kind of like a perfect something maybe, but it's sealed, almost like something like a bug sealed in amber. It never changes, it never moves, it never grows or has life in it, but it seals a moment in time. So think about the image of a bright filled paperweight. Think about it being perfect, but maybe inaccessible. You can't get in it, can you? Maybe think about it like being a dome. It's almost like she's looking in to something that she can't have, but she wants to treasure that memory. Okay, so have a think about that, and maybe start to think about comparisons, and you can compare this to Kamikaze, you can compare it to Checking Out My History, which I'll do in a moment. Okay, there's lots of things, and remember when you compare, if you think about Smile, you can compare the structure, the meaning, the imagery, the language, and the effect. Okay, so Smile helps you do comparisons and give you a bit of structure to that. Okay, all right then, see you soon, bye.